Hi guys, so today I had my fertility appointment with getting my Sono hysterio thingy done, and that's the same as the HSG, I think. One uses X-ray and one uses ultrasound. I had one with the ultrasound done, so the Sono. So we went in today and we had to get blood work, and we both had to get blood work done actually. So there was blood work, and then there was the regular ultrasound to check out my eggs, and then there was the Sono. So when I went in, they're actually really quick, quicker than what they were on the weekend. And sorry, I'm still getting over my cold. So they were quicker than what they were on the weekend. The weekend was actually quite a long wait. So what we did was we went in. She called me right away to go do my ultrasound, like within seconds. I hadn't even sat down yet. So I went and did my ultrasound. Then I came back out and I waited for my blood work. So I came back out and I waited for my blood work. While I was waiting for my blood work, my nurse had actually come out and told me, you can come back now, I'll talk to you. So I went back and I spoke to my nurse, and she had said that I had 10 follicles on my right side and 12 on my left, and that the ones on my left were getting larger, so that meant that I was going to ovulate on my left side this month. She also said that it looks like I will be ovulating sometime this week. So she had requested for me to go in every single day to get blood work and ultrasound done up until the point of ovulation. So I was supposed to go in tomorrow morning at 6:50 and get my blood work and ultrasound done and all that stuff. However, sorry, before I get to that point, I had asked her about my uterine lining and the thickness, because they checked that last time and they checked it again this time. So last time it was 3 point something, and she said that that's good because you want it to be thin, because it was cycle day 3, so I was bleeding, so you wanted it to be thin while you're bleeding. It's supposed to be thin. Then it gradually thickens up due to ovulation, when your body is getting, comforted and fluffy and all that stuff to put for the baby in order to attach onto the uterine lining. So sorry. So today it was 5 point something, which she said was completely within the normal range, and it would gradually get a little thicker around ovulation and just after ovulation, and then it will gradually go thinner again as I get closer to my next period. So today was like 5 point something. So I asked her about that. That was fine. Then I had asked her about my blood work. So blood work that I had done last time. This time I obviously wouldn't have the results then, because at this point when I went in and talked to her, I didn't even have my blood work done. I know that they get the results back very quickly within the same day, but I hadn't done it at that point in time. So I had asked her about last week's, and she said everything is back to normal. All my hormones are normal. Everything normal. So last time I believe I said that they drew like 10 things of blood. This time I only did the one, and they were testing for my estrogen levels and my LH levels. So what they do is they'll track my ovulation through blood. It's a lot more accurate than the saliva test or the urine test. I have been doing the urine OPKs as well. I did one yesterday. It didn't seem to be, it was very light, so it wasn't nearly close to a positive. But yeah, I did do one of those yesterday. So today is actually, hang on, let me check. I think it's cycle day 11. It is cycle day 11. So I know that in the past I've ovulated on cycle day 12, cycle day 13. It's usually earlier, always usually before cycle day 14, which I know is kind of like what the thing when everybody kind of goes off of when you're tracking your periods, but every woman's different, and they don't usually all ovulate on the 14th day. So I had actually, when we had left, or sorry, no, so back up. I came back out. I went and got my blood work done. It was quick, painless. You kind of get used to it. And then they had called me in for my Sono. So when I went into the Sono, same normal ultrasound room that it was actually the exact same room I was in for my first ultrasound earlier, like half hour earlier. So I went back in. You had to get undressed and everything all over again. You set up on the on the table again, and they had this time they had this small table out, and they had like like a speculum and all that kind of stuff. The same stuff you kind of usually have for a PAP. They also had a syringe with saline solution in it. So anyways, the doctor had came in, and it's not an ultrasound. There's 3 women that came in. There was a lady looking at the ultrasound stuff. There was the ultrasound technician, and then there was the doctor. Not Dr. Michael. It was a completely different doctor. I don't really even know her name. So different doctor. So they had all 3 ladies were in there with me, and I was laying on the table. So first they insert the speculum, which is the same type of thing you use for a pap smear. They put that in. I think everybody knows that that's uncomfortable. And then then she had actually did a clean thing, like it was like a swab type thing. She said she had to clean before she could insert the catheter. So what she did was first she did a swab, and she said it was to test for any infections or anything like that. And then she did the cleaning, and then she inserted the catheter. So she inserts the catheter. At this point, it didn't hurt. It was just uncomfortable. Nothing more than what a pap smear would be. Just uncomfortable. So she had put the catheter in and started to slowly inject the saline solution. I felt a little cramping on my right side. Nothing that, it was just kind of like a menstrual cramp type thing. It wasn't too painful. And then the ultrasound technician then she had pulled out the catheter and the speculum, and the ultrasound technician went in with the internal ultrasound and was looking in my uterus. And this is to see if there's any polyps, blockage, anything. Sorry, I think my dog wants it. So anyway, sorry. Yeah, so she was checking to see if there was any polyps, blockage, scar tissue, anything abnormal. So she had looked at my uterus, and then she was going up to my fallopian tubes, and they started talking to each other, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay, so something's wrong, clearly. But I guess the saline solution didn't make it all the way to my fallopian tube, so there wasn't enough saline solution. So she had to go back in with the speculum again for the second time, and then she had to go in with the catheter and inject more saline solution. When she injected when she injected the saline solution this time, when she put the catheter in this time, it hurt. It hurt. Nothing you couldn't handle, but it hurt. More than what your average menstrual cramp would be. It was painful. Then she started to slowly inject the saline solution, and I got incredibly painful cramps on my lower stomach, but a little more over to the left. Not quite on my left side, just more towards that way. When I mean it hurt, I mean it hurt. I immediately was like, this hurts. And she's like, it's only going to be a couple minutes. I kind of need you to bear with it. She's like, did you take Advil? I was like, it's a little late for that if I didn't. I mean, you don't ask me that while you're in the middle of hurting me. But anyways, it was hurt. And then it just got more and more painful to the point where I started crying. And it was like someone was stabbing you in your lower stomach, or like trying to like, it was like scraping you from the inside, like stabbing you from the inside. It was so painful. So I definitely would not ever want to get one of those done again, as long as I live. I would rather go through raw childbirth. I would rather go through a million tattoos, a million blood work, anything that ever had to be done. I would rather that than this. It sucked. It hurt so much. Like, to the point I was crying. It hurt so bad. And then even afterwards, when she was done, I still had like insanely bad fear. I cried almost the whole entire drive home. It hurt so much. So I don't recommend it. It's not fun. This is just my opinion. Someone else might be able to handle it. I sure as hell could not. My dog's going crazy. So not no. I think she was starting to feel bad for me, because she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, you know what, just quickly get it over with, do what you gotta do, because I'm done. And so she's like, just a couple more minutes. I was trying to, like, you know, bite my lip, but at the same time I'm like crying, and she can tell that I'm crying because I'm speaking through my tears, and it's just no. So anyways, by the time she was done, she's like, okay, all done. And she gets you to cough and stuff like that, because she wants to get some of the saline solution out, because that's the part that I think kind of makes the cramps. No, down, go lay down. So at the end, she was like, good news, you know, everything's normal. Snow, go lay down. She thinks I'm playing with her. Just give me 1 second. What? Go lay down. Go lay down. Come on. Go lay down. Okay, anyways. So she's like, everything's normal. There was no blockage in my tubes. She said everything was fine there. There was no polyps. There was no blockage in my uterus. Nothing abnormal in my uterus or in either one of my fallopian tubes. Everything was completely the way it should be. Like, nothing. And at first I was like, are you sure? Like, are you positive about that? Like, I was like questioning her, because it was like, what could be the problem then? Like, if I'm ovulating and I know when I'm ovulating, if my periods are regular, you know, if we're having baby dancing at the perfect times when we're supposed to be, why am I not pregnant? So I was like, are you sure? She was like, everything's fine. Everything's completely normal. So I was like, okay. Like, at first I was like, I was happy, don't get me wrong, I was happy. Like, I was relieved. It was relief, because that had been like one of my biggest fears, that, you know, I had scar tissue or blockage or something, and I was gonna have to have surgery. And that right there was like one of the worst things that could have happened at that time. And I'm thrilled that nothing is wrong there, but at the same time I'm like, what the hell's the problem? What's the problem? No idea. So my hormones are normal. I have a normal amount of eggs on each side. They're healthy. I'm ovulating. My cycles are regular. Mind you, this cycle was like a couple days early, which is really actually unusual, but everything's normal. Like, they're testing my hormones and everything, so it all came back fine. So anyways, I was supposed to, I have no idea what the problem is. Who knows, maybe I'll be diagnosed with like unexplained infertility or something, but I have no clue. On the way home, so I had my appointment tomorrow for 6:50, and then on the way home, I had actually gotten another phone call from the reception or a nurse or something at the fertility clinic, and she had called me and she's like, "We got your blood work back from today." Like, okay, so I'm like, all right, what's the problem? Maybe this will explain what's going on. She's like, your LH is up, or something like that. She's like, you're actually gonna ovulate today. I was like, what? Are you serious? Okay, cool. And she's like, so your ovulation is actually going to be today. So she's like, you're not gonna have to go for your blood work and ultrasound tomorrow, because due to your blood work today, it's showing us that ovulation should happen at some point today. I was like, alright, that's awesome. And then she's like, however, due to the Sono that you just had, you can't have intercourse for 48 hours. And I was like, okay. And she's like, so she's like, just no intercourse for 48 hours, no, and then she's like, you don't go into your appointment tomorrow because it was canceled, and you don't need to go in. My next thing that they said they would have to do is a 3D ultrasound, which happens a week after ovulation, so I should have that done on Monday sometime. She said that they will call me with an appointment for Monday. I'm going to try to get it in early Monday morning because I have daycare on Monday, and then, yeah, so Monday, Tuesdays are like crappy. I have daycare every Monday, Tuesday. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so she said that I can have intercourse for 48 hours. So I was like, so you're saying I'm going to miss my ovulation this month? And she's like, yeah. So she's like, this month is just not going to be the month, most likely, because due to the Sono that I just had, you can have intercourse for 40 hours. She's like, just to be precautious, because, you know, there is still fluid inside of you, and we don't want the egg floating somewhere it shouldn't be, so to prevent tubal pregnancies or anything like that, to be safe, on the safe side, no baby dancing, no pregnancy this month. If I am pregnant this month, it's a low chance. And due to the fact that it's been so hard, I highly doubt it. Which sucks, because I totally felt super positive this month. I was like, yes, this month's gonna be the month. I'm gonna be pregnant. Everything's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be grand. It's gonna be just before Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'm not pregnant. Nor will I be. Maybe next one? I don't know. After my 3D ultrasound, I have no clue what's going on next. So, as I mentioned before in previous videos, I'm supposed to meet Dr. Michael at the end of the cycle. Not happening. His office called to book the appointment, and he has absolutely no openings. So I actually won't get to see him until after the holidays. I will see him on January 4th. I still am hoping to be pregnant before then, because I would like to be pregnant before I hit 25, and my birthday's on the 2nd of January, so I won't be able to meet him until January 4th, and that's like super early in the morning, and that will be when we lay out a treatment plan or anything that needs to be done. So I read a little bit online, and even if it is an unexplained fertility, sometimes they still prescribe fertility drugs just to up your chances. And, you know, who knows, it could be stress, it could be probably stress, it could be anything. I am a college student at the same time, and I do, you know, deal with life at the same time too, so that can be stressful. Like, I have a big, you can't see, it's like a big stack, but like, of assignments and papers that have to be written within the next like couple weeks, so I will be super busy. Anyways, I ordered two, besides the point, I ordered 2 books online. One I'm still waiting to come in. I will put the links to them below, but anyways, so the first book I actually got in, it actually came super fairly quick. It was here within like 2-3 days or something like that. And it is by Joy Lewis, It's called Fertility, Healthy Natural Fertility and Pregnancy Guide. Discover natural ways to combat common fertility problems. So, and that looks like this. It is an easy read. So she actually has her words double spaced, which is, you don't really see that really. But anyways, she has a lot of interesting stuff in here. Like, she has a section on herbs, and she'll list like pages, and they're like herbs that will like help with different things, herbs that help with balancing your hormones, all that stuff. So I'm only on chapter 2, but it's an easy read, so it's good. Very informative, and she talks about you know, everything from the type of water you're drinking and from the bottles you're drinking out of. She talks about going on an all raw food diet, a cleanse, all that stuff. I have not done a cleanse. I'm not sure if I will. I have been trying to cut back on drinking soda, so my caffeine levels as well. I drink a lot of like Pepsi or Coca-Cola, so I've been trying to cut back on that. It's okay, you do go through a point where you get like caffeine headaches and stuff like that, but it passes. So I can't say I've completely cut out soda because I had ginger ale today, but definitely have gotten back. And if I have had a soda, I will move it towards the caffeine-free stage. So I'll either like a root beer or ginger ale is usually those two. Not as often. Trying to cut back. Like I have a lemon water with this new bottle that I bought today. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing anything. Anyways, I guess before I finish, I wanted to take an OPK, even though the doctor was saying that I was ovulating today. I still want to take an OPK. And I took it. I have it here. I'm just going to show you it. I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. Maybe I didn't bring it over here. I must have still left it in the bathroom. I don't know. Anyways, I took one, and either by the looks of it, it was dark. The second one was dark. It wasn't quite as dark as the first, but it was still dark. And it was, I don't think it was a positive. I wouldn't count it as a positive. Now it was dark to the point where it was like, oh, either you already ovulated and it's slowly going down, or you're about to ovulate. So either one, I already ovulated earlier today like the doctor had said, and my LH search is now going down a little bit, or two, I'm about to ovulate, and then it will go down again. One of these. So yeah, I always find OPKs a little hard to read. I know that a lot of you actually recommend the clear blue ones with the smiley faces, and it kind of gives you a more clear accuracy. To me, they're not worth the money. They're like $60 for like a month or like 2 months or something like that, like or 20 or something like that. And for those of you who are pianistic addicts like me, they don't last very long. So I would rather go on Amazon and get a whole package of them, like 100 for like $6 or $7 or something like that. So that's actually what I did. I actually ordered one of those a while ago, and I'm still waiting for it. It's like been quite a while. But anyways, this video is getting pretty long. It's like a 25-minute video. So yeah, I will leave a link for that book down below. Other than that, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will keep you updated on Monday after my 3D ultrasound. Okay, bye guys.